November 1944. 2,000 Allied aircraft filled the sky over Germany, but racing straight at them is something no pilot has ever faced before. The Me-163 Komet, the only rocket-powered fighter to ever see combat and the fastest plane on Earth. Hysterical. In seconds it climbs almost vertically, hits 600 miles per hour, and attacks before bomber gunners can even react. But there's a catch: it only has minutes of fuel, carries explosive chemicals behind the pilot's head, and once the engine dies, P-51 Mustangs are already waiting. This is the day rocket fighters met America's best.
November 2nd, 1944. Above central Germany, the distant thunder of engines rolls across the sky as hundreds of American bombers advance toward their targets. On the ground at Brandes Airfield, Lieutenant Gunther Andreas slams the throttle forward. His aircraft hurtles down the runway, faster and faster, until the concrete blurs beneath him. This is no ordinary interceptor. It's the Me-163 Komet, a machine unlike anything else in the war. Rocket-powered, experimental, unforgiving, and at this moment, the fastest aircraft on Earth. Andreas eases back on the stick, then pulls hard. The rocket ignites with brutal force. He is crushed into his seat as the Komet explodes skyward, the airspeed needle racing past 400 miles per hour in seconds. 15 other Komets scream upward alongside him, climbing almost vertically to meet the incoming Allied armada. This will be the largest operational launch of the aircraft in history. The G-forces are relentless. Andreas can barely move as the aircraft claws its way toward the stratosphere. Then, just as suddenly, the violence stops. Blue sky. Blinding sunlight. He throttles back to conserve fuel and levels off. And what greets him steals the breath from his lungs. Ahead stretches an aerial wall. Nearly 2,000 Allied aircraft. A seemingly endless stream of metal. 900 bombers, flanked by more than 1,000 escorts, flying in tight, disciplined formation straight toward the fuel plants below. The Komets scatter. Andreas rolls toward the formation, flying alongside his friend, Jacob Ballenrath. They exchange a glance. Neither needs to say what they're thinking. This could easily be their last flight. Ballenrath breaks away first. Andreas pushes the throttle forward and dives. The bombers swell rapidly in his windscreen, their slow movement making them appear frozen in the sky. He has only seconds. He steadies his aim and fires. Twin 30mm cannons erupt, hammering shells into AB-17's wing. Then Andreas slips beneath the formation and streaks away, outpacing the defensive fire. Damage, but not destruction. It isn't enough. He watches helplessly as bomb bay doors yawn open and tons of explosives fall toward the fuel plant below. The mission has failed, but Andreas still has fuel. The bomber stream turns for home, wounded aircraft lagging behind. Easy prey. He circles back. Cutting his engine to idle, Andreas slides beneath the formation, positioning himself directly under another fortress. The shadow of the bomber swallows his cockpit. He slams the throttle forward. The rocket detonates behind him, hurling the Komet upward at nearly 600 miles per hour. Andreas pulls into a steep climb, attacking from below, but the ball turret swivels toward him. The gunner sees him. Andreas fires. One cannon jams instantly. Too late to break off. Tracer rounds streak past as the remaining 30mm gun pounds the bomber's belly. Then, impact. A .50 caliber round punches through the canopy. Shrapnel tears into Andreas's face. The bullet continues through the cockpit and slams into the fuel tank behind him. His confidence evaporates in an instant. That tank contains one of the most volatile fuels ever flown, capable of igniting on contact, melting flesh to the bone. He dives away at once. Within seconds, he escapes the formation. But Andreas knows the truth. His aircraft is a flying bomb. He reaches for the canopy release. It won't move. Move, damn it, move! The slipstream pins it shut. Unseen by Andreas, a Mustang pilot has already spotted him. Captain Fred Glover, watching the smoke trail from above, banks hard. Got one. Intercepting. The P-51 slides in behind the wounded rocket plane. Andreas sees the Mustang at the last moment, and shoves the nose down as machine gun fire erupts around him. He floors the throttle. Nothing. The tanks are empty. The Mustang turns back. Andreas fights the canopy again. Still nothing. Then he looks up. and sees 6 machine guns pointed directly at him. Glover squeezes the trigger. The Komet disintegrates under the assault. Panels tear away. Fuel tanks rupture. Flames bloom across the aircraft's underside. Andreas rolls inverted and dives, the Mustang glued to his tail, pouring fire into the tiny interceptor. He has one chance left. The Komet's sleek airframe might outrun the Mustang in a dive. Glover knows time is short and presses the attack. Then, Komets burst through the clouds. The rest of the squadron. Your lucky day, Glover mutters, breaking off. Andreas plunges deeper, praying the airflow will extinguish the flames. Miraculously, it works. For a moment. Then the fire reignites, hotter than before, as the two fuels mix. There is no stopping it. He must get out. Elsewhere, Ballenrath dives on another bomber, scoring hits before pulling away. As he throttles back to conserve fuel, a Mustang, piloted by Louis Norley, slides into position behind him. Ballenrath never sees it. Tracer rounds flash past his canopy. He dives, trying to outrun the Mustang. Norley stays with him, firing relentlessly. Ballenrath turns hard, bleeding speed to force an overshoot, but Norley anticipates the move. Bullets rip into the Komet's rear fuselage. The Mustang flashes past. Ballenrath slams the throttle forward. An explosion rocks the aircraft. The engine is dead. The Mustang turns back. There is nothing Ballenrath can do. Norley fires again. The Komet erupts in flames and tumbles earthward, back in his own burning aircraft. Andreas struggles with the canopy once more. Heat seeps through the seat. Then it hits him. The wind is holding it shut. He pulls up sharply, bleeding speed. The canopy flies open. Andreas bails out just in time. As his parachute blossoms, he watches a flaming Komet spiral toward the ground. An O parachute follows. Jacob Ballenrath never escaped. He becomes the last Komet pilot killed by a Mustang in combat. Andreas survives the war. So do Norley and Glover. But the lesson remains, sometimes, even the fastest aircraft ever built isn't enough to stop the flying fortresses. And sometimes, pilots are willing to try anyway.